Oscar Niemeyer was born in 1907 in Rio de Janeiro and would go on to become one of Brazil's most known and influential architects. Oscar went to the National School of Fine Arts in Rio de Janeiro in 1929 and graduated by 1934. In 1932, Niemeyer began to work in the office with Lucio Costa, who would be responsible for the new schematic plan of Brazil's new capital, Brasilia. From 1937 to 1943, they worked on the Ministry of Education and Health in Rio de Janeiro. This building was very significant as it was considered to be the first major modernist building introduced to Brazil that would help lead Brazil in a new direction with their architecture. Le Corbusier was a consultant on this project, and his influence can be seen throughout the building's design. Niemeyer got his break and first solo project designing various buildings in a small city called Belo Horizonte during the 1940s. The project was commissioned by Juscelino Kubitschek, who would go on to work with Niemeyer when he was elected the new president of Brazil. Within Belo Horizonte, he designed various buildings such as the dance hall, casino, church, restaurant, yacht club, and the mayor's weekend retreat. The designs within the city were a foreshadow of his style that would soon grow and evolve. In 1956, Kubitschek picked Niemeyer to design Brazil's new capital. However, Niemeyer suggested that they have a national competition, for the master plan of the city, and the plan was won by Lucio Costa, and they both collaborated on Brasilia, with Niemeyer designing the majority of the buildings, of which he worked from 1959 to 1960, and continued to add buildings throughout the years. He designed various buildings such as the National Congress, the President's Workplace, the President's Palace, also known as Alvarado Palace, the Ministry of Justice Building, the President's Chapel, and the Cathedral, and the Ministry of Defense of Brasilia. With the design of Brasilia, there was a chance for a new future for Brazil and its people. This seemed to make Niemeyer excited to work on the project, as he could apply his thoughts on what he believed the future looked like for the people and country. He once said that the architecture's role was to fight for a better world where he can produce an architecture that serves everyone and not just a group of privileged people. In addition, Niemeyer said, quote, "When I make a building, I am not satisfied until it inspires awe and inspires feeling." Thus, this can be seen in his sculptural-like architecture that was made within Brasilia. Since he even said that, I think architecture and fine art should come together, choosing to focus on the beauty of architecture. His work could be summarized best by what he said of where he finds inspiration. Quote, "I am attracted to free-flowing and sensual curves. The curves are found in the mountains of my country, in the sinuous curves of its rivers, in the waves of the sea, in the body of the beloved woman." After Niemeyer finished his work in Brasilia for the time being, he went to live in Paris and Israel in the 1960s. During this time, he designed a couple of buildings, such as this one in France for the French Communist Party in 1967. And he also designed a cultural center called Le Volcan in Paris. He continued to design buildings throughout the 70s and 80s, such as this Pantheon in Brasilia titled Pantheon of the Fatherland and Freedom. However, around this time, Niemeyer's style was beginning to change, and many people thought that he had lost his edge. However, he came back with one of his most iconic designs, which was the Museum of Contemporary Art in Niterói, Brazil. He continued to add on different buildings within Brasilia over time, such as this cultural complex that opened in 2006. Later, another one of his more iconic designs was the Oscar Niemeyer Museum in Curitiba, Brazil. Overall, there are many iconic and beautiful designs that Oscar came up with, and even as he was getting older, he still continued to design, such as this cultural center in Avila, Spain. Niemeyer's work remains ingrained in the history of Brazil and its new city, Brasilia. Niemeyer will continue to be a huge and influential figure in the history of modern architecture, not only in Brazil, but throughout the world as well. Thank you for watching. See ya.